Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here on the show talking about some more NFL. Let's get right into it here. So, 2 days ago, Steelers, they named their team captain. They named quarterback Kenny Pickett the team captain for the 2023 season. For perspective, Ben Roethlisberger didn't become the team captain until like his 5th season. So Pickett has replaced running back Najee Harris and QB Mitch Trubisky as the offensive captain. Other team captains are linebacker T.J. Watt, defensive lineman Cameron Hayward, and safety Miles Killebrew. I mean, it's not really big replacing Mitch Trubisky because obviously he was. That's crazy. His 2nd year, he's already team captain. But George Pickens is going to go off this year. But to be fair, the teams Ben was on at that point were way more loaded. But to be fair, Kenny's a better person, so. But yeah, despite losing his spot as a captain to Kenny Pickett, running back Najee Harris says he has no concerns over it, adding, quote, "Kenny's the guy," end quote, via Brian Batko, end quote, "Kenny's the quarterback, Kenny's the guy, I have no issue with that. I don't think anybody has an issue with there being one captain. As long as we win, we're not tripping. It's all a team sport," end quote. It's what a good teammate's being all about. It's not complaining or crying when you lose your team captain spot. A lot of people are saying Pickett is going to blow up this year, and I'm starting to believe it because it helps that Pickens is a stud as well. That has to be one of the toughest divisions in the league this year. Najee's a great teammate, and I think he'll have a good season. He's an easy person to root for. The top 10 highest paid pass rusher / defensive lineman, APY. This is after Nick Bosa signed, but before Chiefs, Chris Jones, and Panthers, Brian Burns received their new deals, they figured to be added. So number 1 would be Nick Bosa at $34 million. Rams, Aaron Donald, $31.7 million. T.J. Watt, the Steelers, $28 million. Joey Bosa, $27 million. Myles Garrett, $25 million. 6th, Quinn Williams at $24 million. And tied 7th is Khalil Mack, Max Crosby, and Jeffrey Simmons, each with $23.5 million per year. And Daron Payne of the Commanders, $22.5 million. That's your top 10 highest paid pass rushers. T.J. Watt should absolutely be close to number 1. But we'll see if Nick Bosa lives up to that contract. I think he will. But we'll just have to see. And T.J. Watt should definitely be up here. They definitely fleeced. Or they got a steal. I mean, they absolutely got a steal. They're only $28 million per year. Max Crosby's really underrated. But yeah, that's the top 10 highest paid pass rushers. A former NFL QB, Tom Brady, says that his son will play football this year, but he won't follow his father and play QB. He'll play tight end because he wants to be like Rob Gronkowski. Brady said he wants to be a tight end like Gronk. I actually texted Gronk. I'm like, yo, my boy wants to be like you, and he loves it. He's like, that's so great. Via the Let's Go podcast with Jim Gray official. The real baby Gronk, not that fake baby Gronk. We have the real baby Gronk. Baby Gronk is coming. The real baby Gronk, not that fake baby Gronk with the terrible parents. So, it was reported that Mike Williams, the former Bills and Bucs receiver, passed away. So we had an update about it. He is not passed. Former Bucs and Bills receiver, wide receiver Mike Williams, on an update, he is currently on life support following a construction accident and hasn't passed via NFL Stroud, who corrected a report by John Scott TV. It's an inevitable process, according to JA17 MVP, but currently, Mike Williams is still alive despite the previous report. He still remains in ICU receiving medical care. It's said to be an inevitable process, but as of right now, he's still with his per sources close to the Williams family. Yeah, thoughts and prayers are with Mike and his family. He is still alive, but yeah, he's still alive and is on life support. But just it's crazy. It's reported he was died by somebody, and he's still alive, but barely. He's barely alive, currently on life support. Hopefully he survives, though. There were some injury updates from the Seahawks. We talked about Jackson Smith-Njigba a few weeks ago. He's likely out 3 to 4 weeks with a wrist fracture. But some good news for the Seahawks rookie first-round pick, wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba is expected to play Week 1 against the Rams, coming off of a wrist injury per the team. So Cooper Kupp is out, but Jackson Smith-Njigba is ready to play. So he's going to be so special. He's going to be one of the most underrated receivers this year of the rookies. So we talked about yesterday with Chandler Jones about the situation, in the gym, where he couldn't get there, and he'd have to go somewhere else. Not being able to get into the Raiders gym, to go somewhere else. And an update: the hashtag Raiders defensive end Chandler Jones is away from the team today. Coach Josh Daniels said he won't talk about the Chandler Jones situation. That's a private matter, so he's basically stepping away from the team because of that situation. Man, it's kind of crazy. You couldn't even get to work out in the Raiders gym, and you have to go to like a private gym. But how the hell does the NFL close their gym on the weekends? Like, that's just crazy. But of course they won't talk about it. Chandler Jones is kind of not really that good anyway, so. So, a few days ago, Chris Jones, they offered him to replace, they offered star defensive tackle Chris Jones to replace the $19.5 million he's due to earn in 2023 with $74 million over the next 3 years. And he basically opened up about his holdout via Aaron Ladd TV. Quote, opinions are like butthole. Everyone's got one and they all stink. You can't make everyone happy. I'm just asking for a raise. When asked on how soon he could be on the field after an extension, quote, I could be on the field tomorrow, end quote. What kind of comparison is this? I mean, I guess it's a top tier metaphor, but Jesus. Can't believe he actually said that. I mean, obviously he's asking for a huge raise. I mean, maybe he'll get that contract extension, but he might not play tomorrow, which will be big for their defensive line. Panthers have named first overall pick rookie QB Bryce Young their team captain. The other captains on the team are wide receiver Adam Thielen, offensive tackle Taylor Moton, linebacker Shaq Thompson, edge Brian Burns, and punter Johnny Hekker. That's their team captains. Now the Bryce Young takeover started. We talked about things with Anthony Richardson. So it was reported earlier today, before Nick Bosa got that contract, it said he is quote, in doubt to play against the hashtag Steelers on week 1 of the season. That was reported today before the contract extension. I mean, he got his new deal, so I think he's probably going to play week 1. It was reported today that he didn't get the deal, that he wasn't going to play, but I think it's going to happen. I think he's going to play week 1. So an update today, Mina Kimes signed a massive new contract stay with ESPN via Andrew Marchand. Her new contract will pay her a little more than $1.7 million per year, per the report. I think it's well deserved. I know people say, "Oh, who is that?" And maybe it's people who don't watch ESPN. I mean, you can't blame people not watching ESPN. I mean, I get not watching ESPN, but people have to at least know her. She's not just some random. I don't think she's mid. So, an update on the Netflix quarterback series. So, there's a lot of people that have turned it down, like a lot of quarterbacks. And update: the quarterback Netflix series is having difficulty finding QBs for season 2, according to Peyton Manning. Manning says 3 QBs turned him down when asked on Tuesday. Quote, "I'd love for someone to call us back and say, quote, I want to do it. I had 3 starting quarterbacks tell me no yesterday. So I'm swallowing my pride. I think that maybe some guys are thinking that this is going to be a distraction, even though I told a couple of them, I guarantee you'll win the Super Bowl like Mahomes if you do it." It's a cool series, but I just don't think a lot of people want to do it. Maybe you could try a different, like, position. Maybe change it, like, cornerbacks or running backs. Like a different position instead of quarterback. I don't know. Because you can change the position every season. The way it doesn't become stale. Like, you can put cornerback, running back, I don't know. Does anyone else think it's weird that Peyton Manning wants quarterbacks to sign up to do something he himself would have never done? I just don't think any quarterback was going to want to do this. So, former NFL QB Tom Brady staying busy in retirement. He already joined NFL ownership, WNBA ownership, soccer team ownership, E1 electric boat racing ownership, Fox broadcast booth, and more. He's now joining Delta Airlines as a strategic advisor as well. And what's next for Thomas Edward Brady? He's just completing all of his side quest. So USC star Caleb Williams, in an update today, he said he is willing to stay in school if he doesn't want to play for the team with the first pick in the draft. Caleb's father, Carl Williams, said that his son could stay in USC for an extra year if he doesn't like the environment of the team holding the number 1 pick in the 2024 draft via GQ magazine. The funky thing about the NFL draft process is he'd almost be better off not being drafted than being drafted first. The system is completely backwards. The way the system is constructed, you go to the worst possible situation, the worst possible team, the worst organization in the league. Because of their desire for parity, gets the first pick, so it's the gift and the curse. So, if there's not a good situation, the truth is, he can come back to school. I don't think it's going to happen. Like, maybe he doesn't want to go to Arizona, but if he's going to be the first pick, why would he stay another year? But kind of how the draft works, like, you get the high pick, and that's where he's going to go. I mean, he's one of the best players, so, I mean, of course he's going with the first pick. Like, yes, it can stink to go to a bad team, but I mean, what else should the system be? Like, come on. The Commanders have named Commander Sam Howell is named team captain by his teammates. The second-year QB is entering the season as a starter. I mean, the other captains are Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen, Kendall Fuller, Jeremy Reeves, and Tress Way. So it's good to see legit respect by his peers and going to his second year. Jonathan Gannon, an update, who was the Eagles defensive coordinator during Super Bowl 57 against the Chiefs, admits he was the reason they lost. He's now the head coach of the Cardinals. Said, quote, "I'm the reason we lost the Super Bowl," which we know. We're not stupid. We know he lost the Super Bowl because his defense was trash. Lions rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs said he believes he can gain 1,000 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving as a rookie. Quote, "Most definitely," he told ESPN, "especially with the system, and he has his sights on winning Rookie of the Year. He could definitely be a sneaky candidate." The former defensive end linebacker Carl Nassib of the Browns, Buccaneers, and Raiders has retired from the NFL at age 30. So, and Jameson Crowder's reunited with the Commanders. So yeah, he played with that team for the Jacksonville from 2015-2018. Now he's back with the Commanders. Yeah, it's all Savers Vent, and expect a lot. Peace.